Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first edition of Let's Settle This, the show where we talk about how to settle this, the debates of all the nerd stuff like movies and video games. And today's a really special one. It's the first one, that's why it's special, but it's also special because I have two of my best friends in the world debating each other on, everything. So let's just get to those guys right now. Let's hop into it and meet our two competitors who are going to be debating it, hashing it out. Let's meet Brandon Bonnette and Josh Stone. Say what's up, guys.
What's going on? I'm so excited.
Dudes, let's talk about a little bit about who you guys are. Brandon, you're a filmmaker. You're also work in a record store, but you also are really into horror movies. Talk a little bit about why you would defeat Josh on the show.
Defeat Josh, like horror movie wise, or
No,
just in general,
just defeating it.
Dude, I live and breathe movies. When it comes to the video game aspect, I've become more of a gamer here recently, but movies, I live and breathe them. I study them. I think about them 24/7. I'm going to whoop Josh today. Like, when it comes to the movie round, I will destroy you with every fiber in my being. I'm not messing around. I'm coming hard, dude. I've got notes. That's all I've done today while at work was just be like, what if he comes at me with this? What if he comes at me with that? I've got it, dude. So I'm excited, but also you said we're all best friends here. Josh, you're my oldest best friend, but at the end of the day, it's all nothing but love, buddy.
Yeah.
Josh, talk a little bit about yourself. You're more on the music side, but you also watch a lot of movies, but you're mainly, for what I think, you're a gamer. You like Naughty Dog and Rockstar. Talk a little bit about why you think you're going to whoop Brandon today and in this game.
Because I was born for this moment today. You talk about you got all the notes. You got everything prepared. I don't need notes because I bleed this, baby. I know what I know, and I know what I love. So be prepared today to look foolish, my friend.
Okay, let's run down.
I love you. Nothing but love.
Oh yeah. It's all good fun.
Yeah, let's run down the four topics that we are going to be discussing today. We got what's the best movie villain of all time? What is the best horror franchise of all time? What's the other two guys? Worst video game character and the best video game ending of all time. So those are our topics, and we did do a coin toss at the beginning. I was going to do that and I forgot. So I'll just go with whoever's on the top of the sheet. Let's go with Josh doing best villain. You ready, Josh?
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Go for it. Whenever you're ready, this is opening statement.
The best villain from a movie of all time. And the fact that when we set these out, that he didn't say that you had picked it already blew my mind. And that is Javier Bardem from No Country for Old Men. Shigur is hands down the best villain of any movie ever. I watched a little bit of it yesterday just to kind of refresh my memory, and he literally kills everybody but that old man at the truck stop in that movie. And it's all based on a coin toss. He pulled some Harvey Dent.
A coin.
Yeah, he pulled some Harvey Dent, some Two-Face on him, and he murders. He's ruthless, and he shows no remorse. And I read this thing that said they pulled 140 different movies and they researched all of them, and psychologists said that his character is the most like a serious sociopath, psychopath out of any character ever. So he's the best villain, hands down.
Okay, cool. And Brandon, start your opening statements now.
Well, we went in really different directions, but I went for like classic, iconic villains. Actually, not even human for me. I went more the horror creature aspect. I went with the xenomorph from Alien. I just find them disturbing. The fact that they really all they want to do is just destroy, conquer, impregnate you, create more, just take over everything. You know, they kind of work like an ant colony. There's a mother who kind of controls all the shots, but they just live to devour. Like there's no reasoning with them. There's no there's just no nothing. Like you cut them, their blood is acid and bleeds on you, kills you. Like it's just a bad bag. It's a bad day. Like when you come across them. Even the final girl herself in Alien 3 is killed because of one of these creatures. Like they always win no matter what. And I think that's my biggest thing. I wouldn't villain because could have went Hans Gruber, Die Hard anyway with this. But to me, that's more of a villain where it's like there's no reasoning, there's no bargaining, and chances are you come across one, they're gonna win. And I say it could be they or just a xenomorph by itself. That was horror movie villain to me, and I stand by it. Like that thing is going to murder whatever is in front of it or die trying.
Cool. Great. So you got xenomorph. Is that what they're called?
Xenomorph, alien. If you just want to call it alien from Aliens,
Josh has got sugar, whatever you want to call it.
We went in really different directions.
Josh,
I know.
Josh, I want you to be the first one out of the gate to take down the alien. Why is Alien not the best movie villain of all time? Break that down for us.
Because guess who defeated it? Sigourney Weaver. You know who's better than Sigourney Weaver? Javier Bardem. You have Sugar walking around a spacecraft with his air gun, my guy. Guess who's going down? All the aliens. He'll even choke one out with handcuffs. So get out of here.
Perfect. Brandon, you still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Cool. Brandon, you got a response to that?
Oh, definitely do have a response. Like you said it in your first. Sigourney Weaver ends up dying in Alien 3. They win. Like even your lead, who's supposed to defeat them, she's cloned in Alien Resurrection. Throws that out. Handcuffs, dude. You cut these guys, they bleed. Their acid will just drip through him. They would devour him so fast. He wouldn't even get his dumb air tank out. Like. Josh Brolin wounded him, dude, in his own movie. Like a dumb country bumpkin got the best of this so-called great villain, which, great, he is a good villain, but he's not going to get his job done. Pit these people against each other. He's done with one a xenomorph or a colony of them. It's over, dude. Like, game over, aliens. It's like there's no like, especially like even if you go to the psychology, like, you know, he's just a fucked up dude who likes to do fucked up things. These things live on doing. Oh, I cussed. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to.
You're good.
But anyway,
You're good.
I'll keep it PG from here on out. But this is so dumb. Like he's done.
No.
Josh Brolin got the best of him by wounding him. Like he proved that he wasn't invincible. He proved it in his own movie. You lost. I'm sorry.
No. Because the country bumpkin may have wounded him, but guess what he did? He fixed himself. If an alien were to spit a little something on him, or he got the little acidy blood on his leg, you know what he'd do? In outer space, he would go to a pharmacy in outer space and blow up another spaceship so that everybody goes out there to look at it. Then he would sneak behind the counter. He would get some alcohol and he would clean the little acid off his leg.
Space alcohol?
Yeah, he'd get the space alcohol and the cotton swab, and he would clean.
Space swabs. I'm guessing because there's a space pharmacy. Dude, you lost. Like that's such a terrible. If that's your excuse.
Hold on. You're scoffing at my fake space pharmacy. Your villain doesn't exist. It's an alien.
Neither does yours. It's a made-up character from a book.
Could have been.
both the movie.
Could have
Just
been.
saying. No, that's like so. Okay, just like however you want to go down this route, the Xenomorph wins. Like no matter what. In the multiverse, I know you love the Marvel movies, so let's introduce a multiverse. In every one of those multiverses, dude, the human doesn't win. Humans never win.
Iron Man's a human.
Okay, Josh, explain.
And he's dead.
Huh?
Josh, explain why you think Sugar or Javier Bardem, like, explain his method of killing a xenomorph. Like, what would be his method of attack, his plan of attack?
He's got, first of all, he's super smart. Second of all, he's got that crazy shotgun with the silencer on it. They can, in that one scene, blows that dude's arm off. Blows his arm off. Guess what he would do to a xenomorph? What would it do to a xenomorph? Blow that second mouth right out of his head. So he's got skill, he's got wit, he's got a shotgun that's super strong, and he's got the gun to finish him with, the air gun, and he can choke dudes out with handcuffs on. Not only that,
with handcuffs on. What are you talking about? Dude,
if he were to get trapped by them, and somehow like his hands were to get tied up, he could still choke one out. That's what I'm saying. He knows how to do that.
Okay.
Brandon, give the argument of how Sugar or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
How he wouldn't defeat an alien, because we did see Sigourney Weaver kill a lot of these, right? So explain why Javier Bardem wouldn't kill these xenomorphs. Like what?
Okay, well, wait a minute. I'm trying to understand the question. Why he wouldn't be able to?
Yeah, why he wouldn't be able to.
Because you always think about this is also if we're taking place if he's saying, oh, well, he's real because he's human. Well, in the alien universe, they mastered space travel. She always has some kind of gadget, an airlock to blow it out of. Aliens, and she has the cool machine to fight her with. You know, it has that classic part, get away from her, you bitch, or whatever. But, I didn't mean to cuss again. I'm sorry.
You're good.
But that's what I'm saying. She always had some kind of special gadget that his air tank isn't going to take out. It's going to poof some air in front of the alien, piss it off, and that alien's head is going right through his face. It's done. There's no way. There's just no possible way the character got wounded by Josh Brolin.
And then he fixed it.
His own movie. Who's not that smart of a guy. Because he doesn't get away with it. It's done. It's done.
All right. That's good.
That's flabbergasted? Come on.
That's the killing blow right there, I think.
What?
to Josh's pick.
What? Bro, if I had that shotgun, I could take
all right, that's it. Gavel, gavel.
You'd be dead, dude.
Gavel, gavel. End of round one.
The reason you're saying that sentence, that would kill you right then and there. Guys. You're the guy in the movie. When someone hears a strange noise, you're like, hey, we should go investigate it. That's you, dude.
That's good. That's good, Brandon. You won that one. Round one.
Sorry, dude. I got fire in my heart today, dude.
That's bullshit.
There's round one right there, boys.
Not only
Don't
that,
worry, you got the video games coming up. Don't worry, buddy.
That was
round one.
Maybe we should have specified because we definitely went super alien and just a regular.
No. I think that's what made the fight. That's the fight.
I was afraid you were going to argue with him. We'd be like, well, they're not really a villain. I'd be like, yeah, but we're watching it from the point of view. We go and fuck with them. We go and mess with them, and that's how they react. But they have no logic. They just want to conquer.
This is the angle.
That makes an amazing villain when your one goal is, I must kill you. I must try to conquer you, and there's no bargaining with that. That's the scariest villain. Dude, I thought you were going to go with Thanos or Philip Seymour Hoffman from Mission Impossible 3, because you always talked about what a great villain he was.
I literally almost picked both of those.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I even have written on a notebook, if you went with Philip Seymour Hoffman, I was going to show up and be like, just so everybody knows, here's Josh picked Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh yeah, I
Because we
almost said.
talked
I thought
about
you
that
were gonna
villain
pick.
so much.
I thought you were gonna pick. I cannot remember his name. From Die Hard.
Hans Gruber actually mentioned
Yeah.
him. Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
he was one that I thought of. I was like,
All right, guys, that's the end of that one. Josh, I really wish you would have pointed out that Sugar almost seems invincible in that movie. I think that could have got you an edge. Like, he almost seems superhuman throughout that whole movie.
he gets hit by a car as well.
And he survives. He survives so many things throughout it. So I think there could have been an argument made.
Himself.
There could have been just a better argument made about his superhuman quality. So, anyways, Brandon won that one. So let's move on to the second round, which I'm going to mix it up on you guys. We're actually going to a video game question here. So the next...
next movie one. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to best...
Yeah, it's good. No, good.
Best video game ending of all time. And we're going to start with Brandon on this one because Josh went first. You ready, Brandon?
I went with BioShock, the first one. It not only is it just a great game, like it has everything I want in a video game. I kind of think the reason why video game movies aren't that successful, you accept a certain amount of logic with a video game where you're like, oh, I'm wrapped up in this, where you do as plot, where as BioShock, it gets really weird and different. It has this cool like 60s, like noir, underwater, science fiction, dystopian, really cool story. But we're talking about endings, and that ending is what's really cool is there's two different endings. You can play it one where you do all the good things and it has a very happy ending, and then you do all the bad things that you're not supposed to do and it has a very sad ending. But if you remember at the very end of that, there's a huge plot twist where you find out the character is one of the children from the very beginning that escaped this dystopian kind of underwater where they were going to have no government, no rules, escapes it, forgets about it, lives a normal life, and they've been programmed, hypnotized to come back. Like I said, very goofy story, but you accept these in video games, and that's what I find so fun about them. But the fact that you're one of these original children that started in this, like that you're investigating, so it plays like this really cool detective story, and just like all great detective stories, you've got to have some twists, and it has many twists. But like I said, those endings where you got to pick and you find out that you are one of these same things that you either saved or you destroy, that's what I loved about the ending. So yeah, that's mine. BioShock.
Awesome. Josh, what was your pick?
My pick was the first of the Last of Us series. That game, first, it changed my life, first of all. The ending is so open-ended and sad and weird. And it's like, games shouldn't end like that. And when, at the end of the game, spoilers. I mean, it's been 8 years. You should have played it by now, if you haven't.
And also, the category is game ending. So.
Yeah. So
spoilers in the title. Yeah.
So the girl is sick. She's been infected, but she's immune. They go through all this trouble. They get to the hospital. They find, but the only way that they can get the immunity is they have to kill the little girl. The man is like, nah. He starts to, because he has this bond with this little girl now after all this time, kills everybody in the hospital, takes her out, and at the end she feels so bad, like my life should have meant something, and she's like, promise me, and then he like turns to her and he's like, I promise, and the game just ends, and it's like, what? Like, there's like, you don't play after that. Promise what? He promises that he didn't lie about that there was no cure,
right?
Because that's what he told her, there was no cure,
right?
And knowing that we didn't know that we were going to get a second game for like 8 years, we just thought that was it. To me, it was just the coolest way to end the game. It's like, oh my gosh. It made me, just the ending alone made me want to replay the game over and over and over.
Right. All right, Brandon, debate Josh on why BioShock is better than The Last of Us.
Can I ask Josh a question before?
Yeah.
Yes, was that a yes or a no?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so what was it? I played The Last of Us. I'm actually glad you picked a game that I actually knew. I was like, I mean, he's gonna pick something I've never even heard of or played. What was the big deal about The Last of Us Part 2? Don't they kill the girl?
No.
Or what is it? Like, spoilers, sorry.
Yeah, spoilers. The old man that saves her in the game, they kill him within like the first hour of the game, and people are upset that they killed off a main character like that.
Gotcha. And they turned on y'all so fast for that. Like, I just felt like The Last of Us, I'm sorry, like, as a video game, it's great. And I get why it's being adapted into an HBO series because it plays like a movie. And when I go video game, especially when it comes to video game endings, it's how you play the game. What I saw, and I didn't play, I watched someone play it. I played a little bit of it, but I did see the ending. I was like, wow, cool game. But it felt like a movie to me. When I play a video game, like I kind of said in my opening statement, I look for kind of the opposite of what I want in a movie. And BioShock delivers on that. Like, it's like, yeah, you can take these silly things and kind of be like, yeah, this is so unrealistic. This would never happen. And when you do that, you're able to accept more. But when you have heart to a game, not saying The Last of Us doesn't have heart, but this would just bring so much where because you can play it one or two ways. The twist still works both ways. The Last of Us, I felt like it was a movie. Of course, they tugged on your emotions because you were watching a movie. Yeah, you played a video game, but it looked like a movie. Like, it's just one of those things I don't buy. That's why it's getting adapted into a TV series. I think it's not a good video game ending. It's a good cinematic ending, and that's what you want, I guess, from it. Because of how you play it, it cuts to a lot of movie-like moments and scenes. So that's my big argument. Like, it feels so force fed to me where it's like, okay, cool. And then the second this franchise tries to step out and do something different, the fans turn on it immediately. So I don't think The Last of Us, when everyone says, oh, it's a great video game and that ending's amazing, yeah, like, it's okay, I guess. But what comes next, like what comes after that, the BioShock sequels, while not as good, they at least still deliver and are fun as you move along with it. There was no like fandom toxicity with it. People liked them. Again, everyone would say it's not as good as the first one because of that twist and because of that ending. At the end of the day, like, yeah, BioShock has a way better video game ending compared to unending.
Josh?
Two things right off the rip. Number one, you not all the fans didn't turn on the game. Like outliers who just wanted to start a fight and turn on the game because it actually right now is still, I think it's the top rated game of all time. Still the second one. Second of all, the worst critic of the game you have is that it's like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, like, if I want to watch a movie, I want to watch a movie. If I want to play a video game, I want to feel like I'm playing a video game. That's why bring Uncharted into the picture. It's a movie. Shouldn't have been made into a movie. It's already a movie. Like, so
Yeah.
so that's kind of a different argument anyway. But I'm just saying, no, like, it feels cinematic. It doesn't feel like I've achieved anything. It feels like no matter what, you're going to come to this ending. It's because that's what they wanted you to.
Yeah, what's crazy is that we both know the end of The Last of Us, and guess what? Never even heard of BioShock.
Oh man, that sucks. I thought you were a gamer.
I'm kidding. I've heard of the game.
I would eat your words in that last comment.
Yeah, I'm kidding. I've never played it. I don't know the ending at all, so it's hard for me to talk about that. But I mean, the emotion that I felt at the end of that game, it made me. It's a game that makes me want to make games. Like, that's how good it is. It's like it's shot really cool, but even still, when you're actually playing the game, besides the actual movie parts where there's cinematic and there's emotion and all this stuff, when you're playing the game, they really like changed how people play games it's so realistic in the fact that it's a stealthy game, but it's not like in Metal Gear Solid when you hide up against the wall, he hides up against the wall unrealistically. In this game, you're just literally just ducking behind stuff. To the point that, like,
Focus on the
when
ending.
you walk,
Focus on the ending, though.
okay, rein it in. I don't know.
Why is the end? I know you don't know the BioShock ending, but how does it compare to even just other video games endings? You know what I mean? Like, why is it? I assume you picked this because it's the best video game ending of all time, right? In your opinion,
for me, yeah. I've never played another game better than that. Like, I've never played another game that ended that way, where it's just like a cold cut, where it's like you think that the story's gonna keep going a little bit, and then they don't. They just stop it, and they're just like, she's like, "Promise me that you didn't lie to me," and he's like, "I promise," and then it's just over. I don't know. It's so good.
Brandon, do you know that ending to The Last of Us?
Yeah.
What was the BioShock ending again?
BioShock, you find out he's from the whole laboratory, like the facility they've created, like their own. Once they go down there, it's very big. Again, the great thing about a video game, it's all these ridiculous things, but they find this chemical when they clone these people. It's called Adam. It makes you high. It's a lot of fun. But it also only grows in humans. So they start cloning these humans just to get this Adam chemical out of them. And as they do it, they just start killing off the clones. So this one clone escapes. They give this whole backstory only to come back, end up either destroying his clone family or saving his clone family, like the ones that have survived.
Okay. All right. I think I'm ready to make a call on this. Josh, I like that you said that The Last of Us has a universal ending. I think a lot of people do know that ending. I think you could ask anybody, even like Seth Rogen's played that game. I bet he knows the ending to that game. I don't really know BioShock either. Like, it's not saying that it's not an ending that's like so amazing, but I've played The Last of Us, and Brandon was trying to knock it for its cinematic appeal. I think what games are trying to achieve is cinematic stuff, and they were able to blend the two perfectly, and that ending is a perfect ending to a video game that blends cinema with video games marriage perfectly. So for that, I'm giving Josh the point on that.
I will say this: I downloaded BioShock once, and it was like the buttons were so off from what I'm used to. It was like triangle was like jump or something, and I was like, I'm out off the rip. I deleted it. I don't know if triangle was jump. I'm just saying the buttons were off for me. But I love a good story. I'd be down to just watch the cutscenes together in a story.
Yeah.
That's one.
Peter Jackson was supposed to make a movie of it, kind of like his Halo movie as well, but he just kept trying to write it, and he was kind of why I went so hard on the cinematic part. He said, "This is no matter what, if I adapt this, I'll never serve it justice to the fans. And if you were to just like, if I made it what the fans wanted, the moviegoers wouldn't have it." So yeah, that's where my debate came from. Again, y'all know I'm new to gaming, so I'm playing an Xbox 360 game in 2022. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I do have The Last of Us. In solid argument, man. Like, you made some really good points. Yeah, I get it, man.
All right, guys, let's move on. Whoa, Josh, one more point.
Oh no, he said I'm playing an Xbox 360 game, but technically the game that I use is an old PS3 game.
That's right.
We're on the same field.
Dude, that seems so new to me. Yeah, no, I get what you mean, man.
All right, guys, this next one is the best horror franchise, and we are starting with Josh on this.
This one was tough for me because I don't watch horror movies often, but when I watch them, I watch Paranormal Activity, baby. I've seen every single one. I think that there's a newer one that I haven't seen.
I've seen it
to the point that I have recently watched somebody compile all of them together and tell the whole story. Like, I'm so interested in the story. It's so good to me. Me and Brandon definitely watched the first one in his house one time and got super freaked out. And the fact that I want to say grown men, but we were definitely still children at heart. We were like 22, 21, 22. But we watched it, and for us to get scared at it like that And then for us, I remember even us being like kind of into it back then and be like, oh, what's the next one? When I very first watched the first movie, I thought it was real. And I was like, that's crazy. Up until like the very, very end when she's like being over dramatic. But like during the movie, I was like, oh, I thought it was real. I don't know. The story just keeps me going, movie after movie. I want to keep watching them. I want to be like, oh, how are they going to do the camera on this one? And then when they went back and they did like the 70s one, and he puts the camera on the rotate fan.
80s.
Whatever, dog.
Okay, Brandon, your opening
Chef's
statement
kiss.
for your choice.
And this shouldn't be a shock to anybody. I went with Halloween, baby. Halloween's the greatest horror franchise. It invented the slasher. I know there's a lot of arguments. Oh, it's really this Peeping Tom French movie and Alfred Hitchcock Psycho. And even Black Christmas predates it, but Halloween is what put horror movies on the map because it was so big and such a fantastically well done it was Carpenter's third film. But what he did on that, and it was such a small budget, he created the franchise. Like, he created sequels. He created all through the 80s where people were mimicking. Like Friday the 13th, they'd come out and said, oh, yeah, we just did Halloween, but at a summer camp. Like, it already started. But also, like, why I still defend it, the sequels are actually a lot better than most horror movie sequels. So much so that they do take a dip when the Weinsteins get involved in the 90s. But they remade it. They made a sequel to the remake, didn't work. Instead of rebooting it, they're like, you know what? Let's just erase everything and make a direct sequel to the first one and start this whole new franchise. And they're not even ignoring the old franchise. They're still going to make movies based off of that franchise. So it just made it bigger, so much so now that people are copying the move that made it. They're already going to remake Paranormal Activity. It's already in the talks at Paramount. So, like, that's my reasoning for the Halloween. Like, it stand the test of time. Even when the sequels do get bad, someone comes along, dusts it off, and does a new take on it. And they're interesting, and they're fun, and they're, especially, like, as a horror fan, it's everything you want in a horror movie franchise. So that's why I say it is the best horror movie franchise.
I'm so bad at this genre of movies, and I'm not really up to date on movies as it is. When I first read that question, what's the best horror movie, I didn't even think about those. I didn't think about Halloween, Friday the 13th, or anything.
You should have said that.
The first two things that popped into my head was Saw and Paranormal Activity.
Oh gosh, you probably would have had a better chance with Saw. Jeez,
I thought you were either going to go. I was not joking when we said before we started talking. I was like, you probably went Blair Witch because I know you liked that new Blair Witch. Or you went Saw.
Yeah,
it would have been a tough. It would have been a tough argument to make pure Paranormal Activity. I mean, Blair Witch a franchise argument. That would be a tough argument to make with just two movies, right?
Got three.
Oh, they got three?
3 comic books, a video game. There's lore for it. Like, I think it's a franchise.
That's true. Okay, let's.
That's even like, are we doing rebuttals? Like,
yeah, this is the time. Josh, talk a little bit why Paranormal Activity is a better horror franchise than Halloween.
It's newer. It looks better. I know that there's newer Halloween movies. I haven't got to see them. Paranormal Activity, it's newer, it's better, it looks awesome. It looks so
the look of the movie is the least thing about it. It does not look cool. It's on HD Handycam things.
It looks so good. I thought it was real.
No, it's not because it looked good. It's because of how they did it.
I think it looks awesome.
Continue.
Like
I liked it, the cool new inventive ideas and the ways that they do the camera. Like there's the one where they use the Xbox 360 lasers. And
so you didn't even know it was the Kinect. They used the Kinect. It wasn't that cool. Just like the Kinect, it sucked.
Nice.
Just like the Kinect, it just like the Kinect did. The Paranormal Activities expanded our minds, and brought love into our hearts and brought fear at times.
Josh, talk a little bit about why Paranormal Activity like affected you though, like to make it.
Because it was scary
choice.
and it looked real. And I was a good church boy, and I thought that these spirit things were crazy.
Oh God!
And to be sitting there at Brandon's house and watching this demon thing open and close doors, and then we like heard a noise outside of his door, and we were like, "Oh my God, dude, there's something really here."
All right, Brandon, you explain the impact of the Halloween franchise.
The impact, like, I'm gonna throw out your argument about the newer, like, which you haven't seen to be your favorite horror or the best horror movie franchise. Halloween Kills and the new Paranormal Activity came out the same year. Like, so they're still making these, like, and nobody saw it. Everybody hated it. And they were supposed to release it to theaters, but they didn't have faith in it. So Paramount Plus dropped it on their streaming. Cool. Fall asleep, man. That's what I did in Paranormal Activity sequels.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, right.
The first one was good one time. Once dude, we live in the world where the Blair Witch, we thought the Blair Witch was real. Yeah. That was before we all had the internet.
I forgot about that.
The second after we got done watching Paranormal Activity, it was fake. There was like, yeah, it was scary the first time. Guess what, Josh? Jump scares are scary when you're not expecting them. Guess what? When you go from silent, don't say a word. When you go from silent to, oh, yeah, people get scared. Bro. Yeah, you do that. That's all they have. Michael is scary. Michael is a force that cannot be dealt with. Your Paranormal Activities, they think they're going to make some seance and blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Depending on which ending you go with Paranormal, she either ends up in jail, ends up killing herself. Toby sucks as a character. Like, bro, it's awful. And also, for you to love him so much, Paranormal Activity 3 took place in the 80s, dude. It's so memorable because it looks so fucking, so 80s. Like, dude, that's so dumb that you forgot that. They go so hard to be like, hey, look, it's 1980. Can't you tell? We've got the date right here. And guess what? I'm going to reference, be like, isn't it crazy that it's 1980, blah, blah, blah right now? Dude, they aren't good. The sequels got worse, so much so that they're going to remake it again for no reason. Like, at least I'll give you the Halloween remakes weren't good.
All right.
The Halloween remakes weren't good, but when they did a directed sequel from Halloween to the 2018 Halloween and ignored the sequels, it became a box office sensation, so much so that every horror franchise, like Paranormal Activity, who is tying in the first Paranormal Activity to their new movie, they're doing the same thing that Halloween did. They're all going to copy what is already the greatest horror franchise. You copy what is popular and what is the best.
Josh, you have some rebuttals to that?
Me and you got scared out of our minds out of one movie. Guess what's not scary and has never scared anyone? Michael Myers, ever.
You're so dumb for saying that. Like, how dare you? Dude, when I saw the first Halloween, I remember my mom telling me, saying, look, you're going to watch this? And I was about 6, 7 years old.
She goes, if you're a 7-year-old.
Oh, okay, but anyway, if you watch this, you're not sleeping in my room tonight. Like, I used to go, I'll get scared, get in bed with mom and dad. They locked their door. I stayed up the entire night with the light on in this room that I'm sitting in, terrified. And you'd be like, oh, a 7-year-old. Scary is scary. I don't care if you're scared at 7. The fact that 22-year-old men were scared late at night that a ghost story that we thought may or may not be real was happening, and we were both really super Christian at the same time, of course we were scared. Yeah, duh. Because it doesn't matter if you get scared at 7 or at 22. Being scared is being scared. That's why I love horror movies. I love being scared. And Michael Myers has scared itself since 1978. It's newer. Yeah, you've scared since what, 2007, 2008? Dude, he's been scaring people forever.
He's been trying, for sure.
All right, that's good. Ding, 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 right there. If Brandon lost this round, he would probably just lose his mind. Let's see. I've already marked it.
Right now. I would end it right now. I'd be like, all right, guys, see you later.
That's come from that's bias because
It's not biased.
it is biased.
Dude, I really worked on my notes for anything
Josh,
that you
your
had.
argument was why it's the best horror franchise. It scared me once. What? That's your argument.
It's a horror franchise.
Michael Myers,
but it doesn't keep scaring you. That was my point. Like it doesn't. Like
Paranormal.
that way. I remember seeing the first one.
Hold on, guys.
It scared me once. That's more times than Michael Myers has ever scared me.
I don't know. You could have beaten me so easily if your memory was better. When I saw Paranormal Activity 3, I went to the midnight showing. I came home to the trailer that we're living in, knocked on your door, and was like, hey, man, will you just come sit in my room and talk to me while I go to sleep? I asked you to do that, and you came and sat in there and talked to me. That's how much it scared me.
But that doesn't...
Like, dude, they are scary. I see where you're coming from. But you could have beaten me with that. I'd be like, fuck, you got me, dude.
Well, that doesn't make, to me, this argument wasn't about which is the scariest movie.
True,
what makes it a better franchise is one was based off a gimmick, like one that made good money at one time. The other one has been, like, anyways, regardless, Brandon got the point.
Yeah. I literally was just throwing doodle on the wall and see what's because I don't know anything about any of those.
All right.
Oh, man.
All right, guys.
I should have remembered Blair Witch and went with that. I know Blair Witch better than Paranormal.
This is the last of our main ones because there may be a tiebreaker depending on how this goes. But this is worst video game character of all time, and we're starting.
This is hilarious
with Brandon.
It's gonna be hilarious.
Dude, that went so hard on the Halloween. I've almost lost my voice. I hope I'm not being too loud. I'm sorry. I went with Gex, the gecko from the Sega Genesis. The first one was awesome. I loved the side platform games and whatever. But as the sequels go on, this character gets so annoying. Like that he has catchphrases that fans boycotted how bad this character was, that they hated the video game, that they could not stand it. And it was I can't remember who made it, but they thought this character was going to be the Sonic Killer. They thought this this is our new franchise. It's in Gex the Gecko, like, awesome. This is great, blah, blah, blah. And then it failed miserably. And to me, that's like, if you're going to say worst video game character, like, that's it. Like, your main character sucks.
That is hilarious, bro. I literally almost picked the same thing. It was between him and there was another game when we were kids where the main character was a cricket.
I thought you were going to go Echo the dolphin. I almost went that way.
No.
Josh, how is that a good argument to start if you said you almost picked it? Oh, you're saying because you found a worse one? I see.
Yes.
All right, so start your opening argument.
Worse than Gex the Gecko is the stepbrother of all video games. It's the redheaded stepkid. It's the always picked last at dodgeball. Wario. Wario is trash, bro. His video games tank. Nobody ever picked on Mario Party. He's a selectable character. Guess who never gets picked? Wario. He was supposed to be like Mario's like super antagonist, but guess what? Mario already has one. His name's Bowser. You can never beat Bowser with a Wario just because he looks the same and talks with a bad accent. His mustache sucks. He wears yellow. He's a horrible character.
Why is Gex worse than Wario, Brandon?
I'll tell you right now, as someone who you said in the intro worked at a record store, I buy and sell games all the time. Guess what people come in and ask for? Be like, hey, do you have this Wario game on the Nintendo DS? Blah, blah, blah. Guess what they don't ask for is Gex. Because everybody hates Gex. It sucks, dude. Wario is at least kind of cool because it does belong to the Mario world. Like, that's kind of cool. Like, you could say, yeah, is he the worst character? Yeah, he's the worst character in Mario, in the Mario world. As a video game? No way. Gex, dude, his one-liners. He has a one-liner in his second video game where he's like, this is worse than eating tacos at James Earl Jones' house. You're like, who wrote this? This is terrible. Like, yeah, dude, I'd rather, and you know what? I picked Wario when I play Super Smash Brothers all the time. I like variety. I like to try things out. So of course I picked him. And guess what? That proves that he's a better one, because guess who's not in Super Smash Brothers? Wario. Like, Gex is not in there. Like, Wario's there. Like, he's still playable. There's kids that have bought Funko Pops of Wario because they like Wario. He is way more liked than Gex.
Wario is like the Meatloaf of video game characters. You don't like Meatloaf. You like the idea of Meatloaf. You don't like Wario. You don't like Wario. Nobody picks Wario because they want to try him out. And the kids that came to your record store to buy Wario, they still sleep in the mama's beds, I guess. I don't know. Nobody likes Wario. Nobody picks Wario.
I told you I pick Wario. I have picked Wario. I'm not doing that to win an argument.
If Gex the Gecko went up in a fight against Wario, Gex would win every time.
No way.
Yes, he's like a spy, isn't he?
You see, you don't even know. All he can do is whip people with his tail. Wario has moves. You have to have moves to be on Smash Brothers. You can't be on Smash Brothers if you don't have moves. Gex doesn't have moves. He swings his tail. That's it.
That's a move. I'm screaming super loud. That's a move. But they assign moves to those characters so that they can fight in the game. You know who else has moves on there? Like the little connected dot Game Boy guys. They put yes, in order for them to fight, they assign moves in Super Smash Brothers. That's the only reason why Wario is even in there, is because Mario probably called him and was like, hey man, do you want to be a part of it?
But who's not in there?
Because he's a Sony character. Sony characters aren't in there.
Dude, Sonic's in Smash Bros.
Yeah, Wario.
Because
everybody knows
Nintendo made a deal.
People have forgotten Gex. I guarantee you, people watching this right now be like, who's Gex? Like, yes, exactly. He's so forgettable.
Right. He's so forgettable. And it's still so sad that he's that forgettable and people still don't want to play with Wario.
I play Wario. You've lost that argument. I played as Wario. I like Wario. I don't, like, you're talking to someone, I don't mind Wario. Have I played his games? No. Have I played him as Super Smash Brothers? Yes.
Yeah.
But
to give him a try.
And he was also on Mario Kart Racing. Like, I've tried him in more than just one game. Like, yes, that's fine.
Everybody has this thought in their head.
Is he boring? Yes. Is he the worst? No.
Oh, he's the worst. Everybody has this thought in their head when they picked Wario in the racing game. They're always like, I don't want to pick him. He's going to slow down my car.
Okay, yes, maybe. Like, no, like, I don't agree. Like, this is so deep, dude.
Oh, yeah, did I mention he wears yellow?
Dude, I wore a yellow jacket today. Like, that kind of hurts my feelings now. Like,
my whole show is like based around the color yellow.
Sorry, it was yellow flannel, not a jacket.
Josh, Brandon, closing statements on Wario and Gex. Just reasons why they are the worst. Go for it. I'll give you a minute each on your closing arguments.
Who's going first?
Brandon, go first.
I think I proved it. Like honestly, like you're saying, Wario's the worst. He's not the worst because I play as Wario. I'll even admit to that. I don't like Wario, but he doesn't hurt anybody. Like yeah, it's something that didn't really work out. Gex is forgotten, and it was so bad they tried. Not that he's only forgotten. They made Get 2, 3, 4. They kept trying, and it got worse and just crumbled. Wario's still part of Mario. He's in the new Mario movie as well. So to be that bad, what like why put him in that movie? If people hate him, why is he in the movie? Like he's still part of the Super Mario lore. If he was so bad, they would have dropped him.
Okay, Josh.
I don't know what's worse in this life, to be hated and forgotten about, or to just be purposefully left behind. Because even though Gex, they tried really hard. They tried making different Gex. They tried to make this cool character into something. And you know what? When it comes to Wario, they stopped trying. They gave him a shot. We'll see. We'll see how much in the movie.
He's not forgotten. I'm sorry. He's
All right,
not.
guys. That's good. I'll tally the scores over here. Josh, you had a really funny line about the meatloaf. That was good.
I ordered meatloaf at Cracker Barrel the other day, so I love meatloaf, sir.
And when it came out, you went, dang.
No, about halfway through it, I was like, I probably should have gotten something other than meatloaf.
I think Brandon had a pretty killing blow at the beginning, saying Wario is still a part of Mario, so it kind of makes it, Gex. I literally had to look up who Gex was when Brandon said that to me. I was like, "Who the fuck is Gex?"
Really?
When I saw him, I was like, "Oh, I remember him." But from the top,
when you saw him, yeah, you're like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, so Brandon definitely won that just based on his arguments. Sorry, Josh. I thought you were gonna win that, Josh. I really did. But just for fun's sake, we're gonna do the final one.
Can we? Let's just do we're both hearing this. I don't have notes. Let's try this out.
This is how we're going to do it. This is the tiebreaker is going to be this. So get your ears ready because I'm going to call it out, and you have to pick this. And whoever says it first, if y'all have to name the same thing, whoever says it first gets that one. Okay, you guys ready?
Okay.
Best Ryan Gosling movie.
Drive.
Brandon said Drive.
Yep.
Josh says Ides of March, and Josh said it first. So that's you first, Josh. Ides of March. Argue why it's better than Drive.
Oh, I don't know if it is. I just really like it.
That's you.
It's one of his best movies. I love talking movies. His attitude in that movie is super cool. He's like the guy that you want to be for sure. Like every time I watch that movie, I'm like, dude, I wish I was him. Like just he can talk his way through anything. He's super smart. He has candidates from both parties fighting for him like the entire movie. Unfortunately, he gets caught up like in a really bad situation and has to really push things to make things happen. But he's like, I don't know. I love really smart characters, and he's really smart in that movie.
Good, Brandon. Drive. Why?
And I'm not debating. It's why Drive. I think Drive is his best, right?
It's why Drive is a better Ryan Gosling movie than Ides of March.
All right. Better Ryan Gosling movie. Performance. It's the movie that really made us take him serious as an actor. Ides of March wasn't until a year later, or maybe a couple months later. I can't remember. But Drive was the movie that really got him on people's radar. He'd come off of Crazy Stupid Love, done Drive. But not only, it's just a cool ass movie. Like, people remember Drive, and so much so that it was such a different experience that people were confused by it, because what the trailer showed and what you got were almost two completely different movies. But yet you still enjoyed it. Like if you went there because you thought it was a Fast and Furious movie, or if you went there as, oh, I know Nicholas Winding Refn, he's an amazing director. Like
No one
you
thought
got
that.
like I did. Like I saw Valhalla Rising. I was curious. Yes. Like, should you weigh in? You're judging this.
He was
Like, I don't know, man.
it's a funny antidote because no one thought that about Nicholas Winding Refn in 2010.
Yeah, dude, I watched the Pusher trilogy. Yes, like film nerds like me knew what we were getting into, that it was something special. Almost put it on the level of like when Pulp Fiction came out. Everybody thought, okay, like what's this movie? That people saw it and people loved it. Like it made an impact. It changed the film game. Not mainly Hollywood movies, it changed the independent film game too, which is awesome. Like it made people
But focus
step up
on
and make copycats
focus on
of
Ryan
it.
Gosling in the movie, not what the movie's impact did.
But it's
Ryan Gosling.
performance alone, like Josh. Well, I'm staying away from that because I don't know if we're debating yet.
You're debating right now.
Okay, well, like Josh said, he likes talkie pictures. Ides of March, good movie. Not a lot of people remember it. It's a talkie movie, and it's a very political movie. And so, like, best Ryan Gosling movie, I think it goes to where it's a character that you want to really get behind. It's not a character that you want to be. It's a character that you just like, oh, this character does not exist in the real world. He really brought everything where he has very minimal dialogue, but yet he conveys such great emotion, and without him saying anything, you already know. And with Josh saying that he's so suave that he has both candidates fighting for him, if you remember the movie, they both fire him because he's a weasel and he's not a character to get behind. He's a loser. Only does he learn from being other losers is to use that and use that against him.
All right, Josh.
He's the biggest monster in that movie.
All right, Josh.
What?
Rebuttal.
Yeah.
Did we watch the same movie?
Rebuttal.
We watched the same movie that I also love. Yes, we watched the same movie.
He's not a weasel. He's only trying to do the right thing. Nope, he got caught. But, like Aaron Eckhart said, and thank you for smoking, when he says, the guy who says you can pick up, the guy who can pick up chicks, I'm him on crack. To me, that's like Ryan Gosling in The Ides of March. He's so smooth, so good. Not only that, but he acts so clean to me that I almost feel like you get to know Ryan Gosling a little bit in the movie. It just seems like it's his personality on screen. It's really crazy.
Why is
his personality for a wuss? Like he gets offered by Faulty Body to be like, hey, come work for me if you rat out this guy. And he's like, cool, I'll rat him out. Oh, I did that? I shouldn't have? Oh, y'all fired me? Hey, I know y'all are also weasels. Let me be one. Drive is a character movie that looks like a Fast and the Furious movie. Like, it's a movie that you're like, oh my God, I get behind this character. I love this character. I want to see more. Like, yeah, Ryan Gosling's cool in Ides of March. Good deal. Like, but his performance, he's a cool guy. He's cool in interviews. He's an actor in Drive. He's really trying in Drive.
Josh.
Okay, you say all this. I totally disagree with you about the Weasley things. But even if he were one, then he was the best Weasel of all time. Because he's amazing in that movie. He's so good in it. I don't think he was Weasley at all. I think he was a guy caught up in a bad situation, and he did the best to, at the end of it.
You guys are talking a lot about the character, but talk about Ryan Gosling's performance in these individual movies.
Character.
Focus
like,
on. I know. I've heard enough about the characters. Let's talk about his acting in these movies. So, Josh, debate why Ides of March is a better performance versus Drive.
It's just Ryan Gosling.
Oh, man. God, Josh.
He's out there. I mean, he has a lot of lines. He plays it really well. I believe him the whole movie. He has a lot to remember. He's a good actor. And I believe him the whole time. Even when things go sideways in the movie and he has to start becoming a little bit dark, I believe his character the whole way through. No, it's not.
He's just as bad as the bad person in that movie, the George Clooney. He's just as bad as he is.
Brandon, why is his performance in Drive better than Ides of March? Performance, like
Drive, because it's kind of the opposite of what Josh said. Like, he was able to convey so much emotion without saying too much. You knew what that character was thinking. That's a hard thing to do. Think of most Hollywood movies. They want to hold your hand and tell you everything about the character. He took something back. He was like, no, I'm going to play this more reserved. Like, and he's still the guy that Josh is kind of saying, like, he could pick up any girl in the bar. So could the character in Drive just by his looks. It's his charisma. It's his passion. When you know things get bad, he has a moral compass, but they don't tell you that. He shows it all in his performance. Ides of March, it's all dialogue. It's all character. In Drive, it's a performance. Like, he is that character. I believe he really have to channel to be that person. Ides of March is just Ryan Gosling picking up a girl at the bar. Drive is him picking up a girl at the bar and then end up marrying her and being committed to her, and they have a happy life together.
I thought you were gonna say
Ides of March is dumb. And plus, you know what? We're both wrong at the end of this. We should have said Half Nelson, dude.
I thought you were gonna say The Notebook. I was like, all right.
Oh my god.
This is what.
all right.
I thought.
What do you want?
Closing statements, real quick.
I thought you were gonna say Ides of March is picking up a girl at a bar, and I thought you were gonna say Drive is picking up that girl and then kicking her teeth in. That's what I thought you were gonna say.
Or take your ticket and abortion.
Oh gosh. All right, let's
Ides
just
of
do
March.
like a minute.
Ides of March reference. Let's just make an abortion joke.
Let's do closing arguments, 1 minute each, starting with Brandon.
Oh man, I've said enough. Like, Drive is remembered. You know what people don't remember is Ides of March. Yeah, it was a good movie when it came out, but people don't remember it. I have people every day come to the record store. Hey, I got that movie where Ryan Gosling doesn't say too much, and he's like, oh yeah, you talk about Drive. Yeah, we sell it all the time.
Or Only God Forgives.
I've got copies of Ides of March on the 50-cent wall. Like, people don't give a shit about it. They don't care about it. People still love Drive. Like I said, it's our generation of what Pulp Fiction was when Pulp Fiction came out, even though we were alive when Pulp Fiction came out, but we couldn't see movies. So that's why I think, like, it's the Pulp Fiction of what we consider us getting into movies. It's a big movie to a lot of people, and it's because of Ryan Gosling's performance.
Josh?
I don't care how many people you think haven't watched the movie. The fact of the matter remains. I've seen Drive once, and I've seen the Ides of March like 10 times. I watch it over and over and over again. It's a movie that, for me, that, I don't know, it's like, it just has that special energy to it, and it's a go-to for me. Like, anytime. If I ever see it on a streaming, I'm watching it every time. But I can pass by Drive over and over again. So for me personally, it's just a movie that Ryan Gosling, I don't know, his acting is just so good in that movie. He really, I guess his character comes through. And like I said earlier, I feel like when you watch him in that movie, you're like, oh, that's him. That's Ryan Gosling, 100%. When in Drive, I feel like, oh, he's playing the character now.
Okay.
I'm not sure how
that
that's...
character in Ides of March. So.
Okay, that's it, everybody.
Dude.
Okay, let me tally the scores real quick. Chats amongst yourself.
Hey, dude, just remember, we love Ryan Gosling, dude. We love Ryan. That's the important thing, dude. I'll watch anything. Hey, but I will tell you this. I've seen Drive a lot, but I do watch Ides of March just as much. Like, I just personally feel like it's not a remembered movie. It's remembered to us because we know how good it is. And Philip Seymour Hoffman in that, when he gets him fired, that's why he's a weasel, dude. Like, he just he even gets
Philip Seymour Hoffman is the weasel, not him.
He's teaching him how to be. He's the new Philip Seymour Hoffman. Like,
well, it looks, Josh, you had me at the end there. The whole time you almost were not doing well, and then at the end you had a great argument about it. You passing it more than you do Drive. I guess that's more personal, but I think it would really spoke to me. But at the end of the day, Brandon had some strong arguments on why it's a better Ryan Gosling performance, and you just didn't. You just kept saying that you think it's it seems like Ryan Gosling, which to me doesn't mean it's a performance. He's just not really acting. So Brandon gets the final point on this.
He's so good at acting, it doesn't look like he's acting. Are y'all retarded?
Hey, you can't say that.
My fault. I'm heated.
Okay, this is the end.
That's all right, dude. Like,
Congratulations, Brandon.
I'm shocked I didn't go Ides of March either. I'm really shocked I didn't go half Nelson. Because come on, can we agree his performance at half Nelson is perfect? Or even Crazy Stupid Love, dude. His performance is what makes that movie, in my opinion.
Yes, Brandon. That's it. I want you to give a little congratulatory little ending, thanking all your fans for all the support. I don't know. Here you go, Brandon. You got 30 seconds to talk.
Thank you, man. I had so much fun doing this, dude. We're still friends at the end of the day. Cool that I won, but also at the same time, dude, it was a battle where if you won, I would still love you the same and be excited for you. So at the end of the day, dude, this is awesome. This is fun. Let's do it again. Maybe take some notes this time.
No, this game's rigged. I didn't need to take notes.
Why are you saying it's rigged? He's my brother. He's more likely to go with you. I'm not blood.
No, it's because he's my brother. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to play the odds. I'm not going to give him all the points.
I thought you were going to win on Best Villain.
Yeah, he picked an alien.
I thought Josh was going to win on it.
Who's that villain, dude?
Because I
picked an alien.
I really thought about it. I'm sorry I didn't think of the first cool villain that I thought of.
He should have been DQ'd off the bat.
I thought you were going to go Thanos, to be honest. That's why I went Supernatural as well, because I know you really like the Marvel movies. So I was like, well, if he's going to go Thanos, I got to go something that could at least compete with Thanos. And if you had went with Thanos, I was hoping you wouldn't say without what's the snap thing, the gauntlet or whatever.
Yeah.
The Infinity, whatever. I was like, oh, he doesn't have that, so he can't. Like, I prepared some arguments, but I'm just saying.
Nice. Good job, Brandon.
Yeah.
You're the champ of Let's Settle This first show. So we're going to have to bring someone on to defeat you, I think. Maybe Max.
That'd be cool.
He would be fun to fight against.
Oh, man, that'd be fun. I'd be down.
Josh, maybe... Yeah, Brandon's right. Maybe do some notes.
Do some notes. Maybe do some better judging. He picked an alien.
Well, dude, your arguments were just like, he's...
He can shoot him with this... Oh, I'm about to lose my mind.
You just like, how was he going to survive in space? Like, I'm just confused by you just really had.
Why does the alien? The alien can't survive in Texas.
Why didn't you say that in your argument?
I shouldn't have to.
Yes, you have to let. You got to convince me. You got to convince me. All right, I
think Adam's biased person. Like, I don't think he wanted either of us to win. Yes, he went with the honest judgment, and dude, that was you could have argued. Like, I think he should have went more psychological. Like, that dude's fucked up. Like.
All right, I'm gonna close out the show. You guys can keep talking after I close it, but I'm gonna close out the show. Thank you guys so much for watching this first episode of Let's Settle This. If you guys like what you saw, please comment, like, subscribe, and we're going to do more of these. So we'll see you guys on the next one.
I won't cuss as much, I promise.
Show's rigged.
No, it wasn't, man.